I think the strength of the alliance is to gather institutions and people from different countries, from having different experience, and having in common a vision, a kind of vision or reflection on science diplomacy. And probably what we would need would be to have more people or institutions from the diplomatic side in order to have a more balanced distribution of skills within the alliances. Well, when I arrived to the embassies from academia, I think I knew a lot from my practice about international scientific cooperation, but then I discovered that international scientific cooperation is also strongly related to politics and to geopolitics. And this is why I could then keep an interest in science diplomacy, because this is exactly at the intersection of academic interest in having international partnerships with people everywhere in the world, but also within the frame of international political relations. So that's what I learned when I turned to be a science diplomat. What is happening in this conference confirms that the discourse is changing, because the first step of the discourse on science diplomacy came from the United States with a vision that science diplomacy is really important for addressing global challenges. This hasn't changed, but also that science diplomacy is something good for mitigating international tensions. And another thing I would like to mention is that the concept of science diplomacy is traveling in the world. So now you have more and more countries in the global south that claim their interest and engagement in science diplomacy. And the way they understand science diplomacy is different of the way it was understood at the beginning, you see. They really understand science diplomacy as a lever for increasing their scientific and technological development, and also for enhancing their position in the world, having more influence on international agendas and so on. So we have to take this into account, and my message would be that we can hardly speak about science diplomacy in general. We have to put it in a context, and the context of the United States 15 years ago when the concept started to circulate, or the context of the global south today are very different contexts, which means, well, different perceptions of what science diplomacy is and what science diplomacy could be useful for.